All right, let's go. Welcome to another deep dive today, going into the world of boxing.
Ooh, my favorite.
So specifically, we're talking speed, right? Fastest boxers of all time.
Love it. Who doesn't love fast hands in boxing?
Yeah. So, our listeners sent us a list and some comments from thetop10.com.
Sound like fun?
And some of these opinions are interesting, to say the least.
I bet.
And some serious debates are going on in these comments, so we are ready to unpack it all.
Let's do it.
So, at the top of the list, we've got Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
Now, this is a guy who moved through weight classes like it was nothing,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
starting as a bantamweight and eventually conquering welterweight.
Right.
How did he even keep that speed and power when he was going up against bigger and bigger opponents?
I think you really hit the nail on the head there. Most boxers, when they go up in weight, they lose a little bit of speed. Pacquiao, though, he just kept getting faster, it seemed.
Yeah.
And more powerful. Some people say it's his training. Some people think it's his genes. But whatever it is, it's pretty amazing.
And the comments mention that speed, but they also talk about his power and these crazy angles he throws from.
Oh, for sure.
He beat legends like Oscar De La Hoya and Barrera, Shane Mosley,
Yeah.
all guys who are known for being pretty quick themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Pacquiao, he just generates this power from these unexpected angles.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't know where the punches are coming from, and that's a problem for anyone he goes up against.
Yeah, no matter how fast your reflexes are.
Exactly.
So at number 2, we've got the greatest, Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And that famous quote, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee," really sums up his approach to speed.
Yeah.
But was it just his hands, or did something else contribute to that incredible speed?
Well, I think his hands were pretty fast,
Mm-hmm.
but his footwork was really special, especially for a heavyweight.
Right.
You just didn't see that kind of grace and agility in his weight class. He could control the distance, he could set the pace, and he just created these openings that his opponents couldn't react to in time.
Mm-hmm. It was like watching a dancer, almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was a beautiful thing to watch, like those fights against Frazier, Foreman, brutal fights.
Yeah.
But you could really see how Ali's footwork and his movement gave him that edge.
Right. Okay. At number 3, Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, Roy Jones.
Now, people in the comments are calling him superhuman, extraordinary.
Well, they're not wrong.
I mean, have you seen his highlight reels? The guy's reflexes are like defying physics.
Yeah, he was truly something special. I think what made Roy Jones so unique is that he blended his speed with showmanship.
Mm-hmm.
He was fast, but he was fun to watch. He'd do things in the ring that nobody else could even think of doing. Remember that no-look punch against Glenn Kelly?
Yeah. It was like something out of a movie.
Yeah, it was insane. He made it look so easy, almost like he was playing with his opponents.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, are we ever going to see that level of athleticism again?
I don't know.
It's hard to say. I mean, every generation has its own kind of talent. But Roy Jones definitely set the bar pretty high for speed, agility, and just entertainment.
All right, now this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
At number 4, we've got Floyd Mayweather Jr. And there are tons of comments saying he should be higher.
Yeah?
Some even say he's the most accurate boxer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But is accuracy really a measure of speed?
So Mayweather, he wasn't the fastest in terms of just pure hand speed,
Right.
but his ability to read his opponent and then react with pinpoint accuracy is amazing.
Yeah.
And that accuracy comes from anticipation, head movement, and speed.
So some people argue his defense was his biggest strength.
Yeah.
He would just dodge punches completely. One comment even said that in his prime, he couldn't even be touched.
Yeah, his defensive style, like the shoulder roll, was designed to block punches, but was also designed to create counterpunching opportunities.
Right.
So he'd slip a punch, make his opponent miss, and then come back with this lightning-fast counter. You need crazy reflexes and timing to do that.
So we've got some serious speed demons at the top of this list.
Yeah.
But what about the rest? At number 5, we've got Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay.
And at number 6, Mike Tyson.
Oh, two absolute legends.
2 absolute legends, and with very different styles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This just shows how speed in boxing can be so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
So Leonard, Sugar, he was known for his fast hands, elegant footwork. He was a technician, picking his shots, moving with grace and precision.
Yeah. And there's a comment here that says his hand speed was unmatched.
Yeah.
But then you've got Tyson, a different beast altogether.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Power and aggression.
Yeah.
A force of nature.
He was all about that explosive power, and people forget how fast he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his ability to close the distance
Yeah.
and just unleash those devastating combos, that was a big part of why he was so dominant.
Exactly. Exactly. Master of timing, explosiveness, especially for a heavyweight.
I remember watching him on TV as a kid.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
But you just couldn't look away.
Oh, he was like a human wrecking ball.
Yeah. One of the comments here, it says that his punches were like bullets shooting out of his body.
That's a good one.
It really captures that speed and power and aggression all in one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It just makes you wonder how you even begin to compare these guys. I mean, Leonard's hand speed against Tyson's explosiveness, it's apples and oranges, right?
That's the thing with these greatest of all time lists,
Yeah.
especially in boxing.
Yeah.
There's so many things to think about,
Yeah.
It really comes down to personal preference.
Okay, so the list also mentions some lesser known but incredibly fast boxers. We've got Pernell Whitaker and Willie Pep.
Ooh, interesting.
What can you tell us about their styles?
All right, so Pernell, Sweet Pea Whitaker. He was a defensive genius.
Mm-hmm.
He was known for being elusive. He could frustrate opponents with his speed and his very unique style.
Okay.
And Willie Pep, he was a master of scientific boxing, as they used to call it.
Mm-hmm.
He was quick, agile. He would use his footwork and feints to outmaneuver his opponents.
Sounds pretty fascinating. It's always cool to learn about those boxers who might not be as famous, but were still unbelievably skilled.
Yeah, there are a lot of hidden gems in boxing history.
Yeah. Then there's Amir Khan, known for his crazy hand speed and those combination punches. He would just overwhelm his opponents with speed.
Khan was a gifted boxer,
Mm-hmm.
but as some of these comments point out, that speed could sometimes backfire.
Yeah.
He would overcommit, leaving him open for counterpunches,
Yeah.
especially against the more experienced guys.
So speed without strategy can be a liability.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just about how fast you are, it's about how you use it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
And then we've got Floyd Patterson.
Oh, another heavyweight with some fast hands.
Another heavyweight with fast hands.
Yeah, he was known for that leaping left hook.
Oh, yeah. Incredibly fast. He would use his speed and agility to get in close,
Mm-hmm.
and then bam, unleash that devastating punch. A real game changer. Wow.
Especially coming from a heavyweight.
So many different expressions of speed in the ring.
Absolutely.
This list is already full of surprises.
Yeah, for sure. And we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more to unpack.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
It is.
All right, well, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Sounds good.
Okay, so there's also this newcomer section on the list,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting the guys who might challenge the established order,
Interesting.
We've got Not Ruin Rong
Okay.
and Alexander Isosik,
Uh-huh.
but there aren't really any details about them. Makes you want to go and check them out, see what they're all about.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that boxing is always changing.
Right.
New talent is always coming up, pushing the limits of what's possible in the sport.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, let's get to the contenders section.
Okay.
These are boxers who might not make everybody's top 10 fastest lists,
Right.
but they definitely deserve some recognition for their speed.
I like this section.
Yeah.
Because it's got boxers from all different eras and weight classes.
Yeah.
Just shows how many different ways there are to be fast in this sport.
Yeah, totally. First up, we've got Prince Naseem Hammad,
Oh, Prince Naseem.
a real showman in the ring.
Yeah. Flashy entrances, the trash talk,
Mm-hmm.
but also that natural speed and power, you know?
Yeah. The comments, they praise his talent, those knockout punches,
Mm-hmm.
but they also talk about that controversial loss to Barrera.
Yeah.
Some people say that losing weight for that fight might have messed with his performance.
Makes sense. Weight management is so important in boxing,
Yeah.
especially for a fighter like Hammad, who really used his speed and agility.
Right.
Even a little change in weight can affect your balance, your movement, how hard you can punch.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, then we've got Zab Judah, and his speed was really obvious against Mayweather Jr. in that 2006 fight.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like some boxers, they look even faster when they're going up against another speedster. Why is that?
Styles make fights.
Hmm.
When you get two super fast, the super skilled boxers in the ring together,
Yeah.
creates a whole different energy.
Yeah.
Both guys pushing each other.
Right.
They have to react and adapt so fast.
It's like they're bringing up the best in each other, at least when it comes to speed.
Exactly.
Okay, now this is a name that might surprise some people. Meldrick Taylor.
Interesting.
One comment here says that he had the quickest hands at the time, even by today's standards.
Wow.
That's saying something.
That is hard to
The
have.
Taylor, he was something else. Hand speed was unreal.
Yeah.
Amazing combination, punching.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame his career was cut short.
Yeah.
But in his prime, he was a force.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It makes you think, like, how has speed in boxing changed over time?
Good question.
You know, training methods are different now. The athletes themselves are different.
Yeah, it's tough to compare boxers from different eras.
Right.
I mean, training, nutrition, sports science, it's all come a long way. So it's probably safe to say that, on average, boxers today are faster and more athletic.
And there's Joe Calzaghe.
Undefeated champ.
Undefeated champ.
Yeah.
Amazing speed and stamina. Apparently, he could throw over 1,000 punches in a fight.
Oh, yeah, Calzaghe. He was relentless, throwing punches from every angle, nonstop. You'd get tired just watching him.
And one comment here says that Roy Jones Jr. actually ducked him
Really?
because of that speed and work rate.
Interesting. It's hard to know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Calzaghe's style was tough to deal with. That constant pressure, all those punches, it could throw off even the most skilled fighters.
The list also mentions James Toney and Shane Mosley.
Yeah, two more guys with speed and skills.
Mm-hmm.
James Toney, he was known for that head movement and defense.
Yeah.
And Mosley, he was a lightning-fast combination puncher
Oh.
with serious power.
They were both fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, get ready for this one. Sugar Ray Robinson.
Okay.
Widely considered one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters ever, but he's at the bottom of this list.
That is surprising.
And the comments are not happy about it. I
Yeah.
bet this is a perfect example of how these rankings are all subjective.
Yeah.
Legacy, style, when they fought, it all plays into how people see them. Some of these comments defending Robinson are pretty intense.
Oh, I bet.
Someone even called out hype beast boys for forgetting about the legends of the past.
It's good to remember that these lists are mostly just for fun.
Right.
They're supposed to get people talking.
Mm-hmm.
They can't really capture the whole story of a boxer's skill and impact.
Right, right.
It's good to look beyond the rankings and appreciate what each boxer brought to the sport.
Okay, before we wrap up, we can't forget about the modern-day speedsters at the bottom of the list.
Okay.
Ryan Garcia,
Mm-hmm.
Vasyl Lomachenko,
Lomachenko,
Hector Camacho,
Camacho.
and Oscar De La Hoya,
Okay.
all known for their speed and skills.
It's great to see this new generation coming up. They're
Yeah.
pushing boxing even further.
There's this one comment about Camacho that really stood out.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "This man had supernatural speed. You'll only see this in video games or movies.
Wow.
I have to see his highlights now."
Yeah. Camacho was flashy,
Mm-hmm.
unpredictable movements, a real showman,
Right.
super entertaining to watch, even if his defense wasn't quite on Mayweather's level.
And then we have Lomachenko, who someone described as the most athletic boxer ever, maybe even more than Roy Jones Jr.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
Lomachenko is definitely one of the most technically gifted boxers we've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
His footwork, the angles he creates, it's amazing.
Hmm.
He switches stances so smoothly,
Mm-hmm.
keeps his opponents guessing the whole time.
So we've talked about a lot,
We have.
from the undisputed speed demons to some controversial rankings
Mm-hmm.
and the rising stars.
Yeah, it's been a good look at boxing speed.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen how it's not just about throwing fast punches.
Right.
It's the footwork, reflexes, timing,
Yeah.
even the fighter's style and strategy all come together.
And it's cool to see that there's no one right way to be fast.
Absolutely.
Different boxers have had success with all kinds of styles.
That's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah. Makes you think how training and technology could change speed in the future, right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, are we going to see even faster, more elusive fighters as training gets better, more high-tech?
I mean, it's definitely possible as training methods get better. You know,
Yeah.
boxers have all this technology now to study their opponents, really fine-tune their technique.
Right, right.
So yeah, we might see even more speed and precision in the ring.
Imagine, like, boxers training in virtual reality,
Yeah.
simulating fights against all these different styles, different speeds.
Right.
I mean, could that create a whole new kind of speedster?
I don't think it's out of the question. We've seen technology change other sports.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that boxing would catch up.
Yeah. This whole deep dive has really shown me that speed in boxing is complicated. It's not just about throwing fast punches.
Right.
It's everything. Footwork, reflexes, timing, strategy.
It's the whole package.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, there's no one way to be fast. Different boxers, different styles.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that speed can be about finesse, intelligence, just as much as raw athleticism.
So for our listeners, what's the takeaway here? What should they be thinking about after listening to this?
I would say go beyond just the rankings.
Okay.
Look into the careers of these boxers we talked about. Watch their fights. Pay attention to how they move. Form your own opinion.
Yeah.
Who do you think deserves to be called the fastest?
It's like a treasure hunt going through boxing history.
Exactly.
You've given us the map.
Uh-huh.
Now it's our turn to explore.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you'll find a boxer who you think is even better than all the legends we talked about.
Right. And that's the great thing about these lists, right?
Yeah.
They make us debate, they challenge what we think we know, and they make us want to learn more.
Absolutely. Keeps the sport alive, even outside the ring.
Well, that's another deep dive done. I'm actually feeling inspired to hit the gym, work on my footwork.
Good for you.
Huge thanks to our expert for taking us through this world of boxing speed. And to our listeners, keep sending us your questions. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic that's sure to be a knockout.